Hi, and welcome to Haunted AF, the podcast of real ghost stories told by real people. We are your hosts. I'm Julie Fisk.
And I'm Rebecca Black.
And this is clearly a surprise episode. Hope everybody's having a great summer and that you're missing us a little bit. Yeah. We wanted to drop in, though, due to an email that we just received this week. We thought you guys would want to know about this.
Yeah, this email comes from Anthony Galacci, and it reads, "Hello, I stumbled upon your podcast and thought I'd reach out. I'm a producer of the paranormal TV show Haunted Hospitals, and we're on the hunt for some great stories from hospitals for our next season. I was hoping it'd be possible to share our casting notice on your socials for people to submit their stories to our email." Well, guess what? We have a surprise here, and it's the one and only Anthony Galacci.
Oh my gosh. Hey, thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored. Thank you so much for the quick reply and getting this all going so fast. It's so exciting.
I think it's clear that Rebecca and I collectively shat our pants. We were so excited because first of all, we love haunted hospitals.
They're like our number one best stories that we get on this podcast.
And we're also always angling to get on TV.
That too.
Just know we'll be hitting you up multiple times. I know you already have hosts for this show. They would not be as good as us
right here.
So you know what? Like, we do all the reenactments. Like, I don't know if you're up to, maybe
yes, that's actually my dream.
Or yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I can't make any promises.
All right. So tell us a little bit about season 1 of Haunted Hospitals.
Yeah. So we're actually going into our fifth season, which is incredible for the show. And it's basically every episode we talk to eyewitnesses, more or less like medical staff and some patients who have encountered something kind of like chilling, mostly like chilling encounters with paranormal activities set inside a hospital, nursing homes, morgues, hospice, and other like medical institutions. And so every episode we look at like 3 stories, and we have our eyewitnesses come. They kind of tell us, pretty similar to your podcast in a sense. We hear from their own words, like the whole encounter. They really paint the picture for us, and then we do kind of dramatic reenactments as they tell their story. So there's kind of a really cool like visual aspect. So all the viewers get to see, potentially what these people who have seen the hauntings like actually went through and things like that.
So for the record, I would love to do like a drunk history dramatic reenactment.
Yes.
That's what we want to do. Can you tell us like one of your favorite stories from a past season?
There was one in particular that stood out to me. It was a nursing student who got a summer job, and she had to go to like an old part of the hospital. So she was working there by herself. At first, it just started out as kind of like a whole cold chill, as it often does. Eventually ended up becoming like a banging at the door. It got up to a point where she ended up like seeing people in the hall, and she basically just had to have like a security guard kind of with her anytime she was like in this old part of the hospital. I remember just the way that was redone. That was one of the first episodes I rewatched before coming onto the season, and I was just kind of blown away like how well it was like shown visually and everything. And yeah, it's really exciting. And even just starting this season, we're about only 3-4 weeks into production, and just listening to everyone's stories, like I'm sure you guys can relate. It's so exciting just hearing all these different stories and how different and unique they are from place to place, to person. And yeah, it's been really cool.
We get a lot of those stories from people who are like at end of life and maybe participating with something that's on the other side. And I was just curious, do you guys have stories like that as well?
Yeah, for sure. It's funny you mentioned that. I just had a call with actually my cousin, out of all people, because she knows I was on the show, and something kind of similar happened where, my uncle was passing a few years ago, but she spent a lot of time in the hospital and seeing kind of almost visions of him throughout his life, like almost beside the bed. Like she said, it was really freaky. Like first she saw him like current day, and then a few days later it was like him in his 30s, which tripped her out because she was like in her 30s, and she's like, I've never seen my dad like this. But it was a weird like reassurance that things were going to be fine, and like I don't know, it was just, it was really cool. It was really spooky. But
that's amazing.
I actually know that we've heard one like that.
Yeah, I totally believed it. Like what she was telling me, like I was just like, my gosh, that's crazy. And I know she's had some experiences in like the house that she grew up in, and like my personal paranormal experiences has all been linked kind of to that house that they grew up in and stuff. And I don't know, it's kind of, it's cool. It's all full circle, if that makes any sense.
And you need to tell us one of your experiences that I feel the need to address, because we are having bugs fly by.
I saw them
too.
See that? And everybody, when they see a bug fly by, they think it's an orb.
Yeah, because of the lights that are set up in here, it looks like a little orb going through. But my husband has a whole lot of fresh tomatoes sitting on the counter in the other room. Hence, we've developed a fruit fly issue.
Lovely.
So it's not like fun paranormal stuff. We just have bugs. So I just wanted to address that. So that said, and we do have a couple of like spooky hospital stories that we're going to have to share in a minute, but I want to hear your personal story from this haunted house of your cousins.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know it was haunted until after they moved out of it. But I think one of the last times I stayed over there, I was probably like 10 or 11. I was pretty young. I was like sleeping over with my cousins and stuff. We were just like in kind of like the family room. And I remember waking up in the middle of the night and seeing this like big, it wasn't a super spooky like encounter by any means, but I remember seeing this big figure just kind of cross in the hallway and kind of just like stare over us for a bit. I thought it was my uncle getting home late or something like that to the house. I didn't think too much of it. But it was the next morning we were all having breakfast together, and then he came in the front door and he was like, "Oh, sorry, like I stayed over at like a friend's house last night." Like after like, and I was like, "Who's that person staring at us?" And then I'm like my 11-year-old brain was just like, I'm so confused. And after a few weeks, I remember telling my mom, and she's like, "Yeah, they've had some weird things happen in that house." And I was like, "What?" And apparently, yeah, they had spirits that would always kind of just linger around. Just I think friendly for the most part. A lot of like lights turning on and off, or you'd put down a cup and then you'd turn around and then you'd come back and the cup was somewhere else, and the little harmless things. But
Mhm.
I think that kind of sparked my interest in everything paranormal. I was just like, oh, this is cool. Something's a little different.
Yeah.
Either that or Scooby Doo. Those are my two.
We reference Scooby-Doo a lot.
Yeah, Scooby Doo. That was like our gateway drug for all of us. Yes,
I would
absolutely.
agree.
So, Rebecca, actually, you work at is it assisted living?
I do. I work at it's a whole healthcare facility.
Mm-hmm.
It's got every level of care. And I work specifically with people with Alzheimer's, dementia. And I see a lot, like all the time. When the closer they get to the end, the more activity that they have of things going on. And most recently, and she's actually passed away since I told Julie this story or whatever.
Oh yeah, this was just a couple weeks ago.
It was. And at one point she's literally like, I can see that she's looking, but she's looking past me. And I'm like, girl, I was like, you see somebody that you know over there? And she doesn't have she's been non-communicative with me for the most part. Every now and then she recognizes who I am or whatever. But she looked at me and she made this face of like, yeah, I do. I definitely see some people behind over there. And then a couple weeks later, she ended up passing away. But yeah, like all the time, it's like they're reaching for people. They are definitely seeing something on the other side.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like even the stories that we've gotten this season so far, like the ones that stick with me, I feel like a lot of patients do look past, like you said, and I would ask like, "Who's that little girl there?" Like, "Oh, is that your daughter?" Or things like that, and I'm just like, "Chill." Oh my goodness, yeah.
It does.
Yeah, one of our early seasons, we had someone who had tons of stories. There were multiple people that lived there in this assisted living facility who talked about the children, complained about the children who were showing up at night and how the children were keeping them up. And the tough part was that there were so many different complaints coming from different people.
Right.
So it was like, well, is this just dementia or what's going on here?
I mean, odds are dementia patients are not going to be telling you the same story.
Right. And she had a story also where she had to go get a file in the middle of the night. And so she made one of the other nurses go with her because this place was so haunted. They were all scared. Nobody wanted to go any place alone. And they walked into the office and it was dark and they just picked up the file and looked at each other and heard a like out of nowhere. Looked around, there's no one else there, and they just hauled ass out of there. We've gotten, I mean, it almost seems like
so many stories.
Yeah, there was another one of my favorites, and so simple. A man, same thing. He worked at an assisted care facility. A man had passed away. So he was in there cleaning him up, getting ready for the family to come and see this man. And there was a nurse in there with him. So he went to kind of shift the body a little bit. And the guy groaned. Man, he like made a loud groaning sound. And when he did, the TV in his room switched on. Yeah. And he said he and the nurse he and the nurse ran out of the room real quick and kind of tried to calm down. And the other, because the family was on their way. They had to go back in and finish preparing the body.
Yeah.
So, which I don't think is probably uncommon for strange noises to come out.
No, they do groan. I will tell you that. I've worked with enough people who've passed on that. Yeah, they groan, they fart, they poop. They do all the things.
Have you guys ever talked to Nurse Meg? She's another one who has tons of
Yeah.
stories.
Hey, I don't believe so. No.
Oh, we got it. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll have
gotta-
to hook y'all up.
Yeah, we got to make
Yeah, it's-
connection because she has a really great TikTok channel that's primarily for like nursing students to get
Right.
them advice, but she will do paranormal stories every now and then and just share all these amazing things that have happened. Oh
Mhm.
yeah, we got to make that
Okay.
connection happen.
Please, that'd be awesome.
Okay, so we know people will want to get in touch with you.
Absolutely.
How do they go about that?
Yeah, I think the easiest way is just to shoot us an email. Our email that we're accepting stories is paranormalcasting@sphere-media.com.
Okay, and we'll include that in the show notes so everybody can see it. And what's the deadline? When does everyone need to have this stuff in?
I mean, ideally, we're looking for by like early July sort of thing, just so we can have some time to do like a pre-interview and like get to chat and really get a sense of their story and see if it will fit within our season. I think this season's going to be a little bit different, where we're going to be kind of combining like certain themes for episodes. So, it might be like themes of seeing a little girl or seeing kids sort of thing, like kid ghost for one episode, and then it might be the man with like the top hat sort of thing. We've been getting
Oh,
into
yeah,
things
we
like
have
that.
so many
Hat
top
man.
hats.
Yeah. So I think we're going to be trying to like combine those kind of stories for each episode, so they have like a little bit of a theme to them, a little bit of a through line.
We've got a ghost girl in our mini-sode this week, and a woman, she just sent the photo. I was just looking at, she got a picture of it because she felt something going on, and she took a picture, and you can see the little outline of a girl at the end of the hall. Yeah, it's like it's super creepy.
That's a real shining moment.
I know. Okay, so early July, and is there a place where people can go and see earlier episodes, kind of get an idea?
Yeah, definitely. If you're in the United States, I believe it's on the Travel Channel. I believe it's on.
Okay.
In Canada, where we're kind of based out right now, it's on TNE as well as the streaming service Crave.
Very cool. We're super excited for you and wish you
Oh my
all
gosh.
the luck for season 5.
Yes.
I'm excited. Yeah, no, thank you so much. I'm excited to be here with you. You guys are like internet famous. It's great. It's awesome.
You're just as famous.
Let's make a TV show together.
Let's do
Do
something
it.
fun together.
Let's do this. Let's make this
Yeah.
happen.
If you're in Dallas or Fort Worth or anywhere around in Texas, please holler at us.
Yeah.
We'll come hang for a minute.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Anthony, thank you so much. And just a reminder, everybody go to hauntedaf.com, check in the show notes, and we will put all the information there so everybody can share their creepy hospital stories for Haunted Hospital Season 5.
Woo-woo.
Congratulations.
Hey, thank you. Thank you so much.